like I said, I was saying briefly in the woods in there that, you know, a lot of times we just don't explain real thoroughly what we have experienced, and I honestly do not know how long Mark and I can keep it up, to be honest with you, because we're both getting older, and yeah. So Mark got a bad knee. I got high blood pressure. So we're getting older. We don't know how much more longer we're really gonna be able to keep it up. Every explorer, I've always called myself an explorer. I think what we kind of do is more of exploring. I don't feel under any obligation to provide any evidence at all. I just merely show you what we get on camera. If it's evidence, it's evidence. If it's weird stuff, it's weird stuff. If it's paranormal, it's paranormal. Call it whatever you would like to call it. But
I had the camera on during that bass growl, Chris. So
yeah, hopefully it'll be on.
Hopefully that'll be on the camera.
I think you had the camera pointing in the other direction, so I don't know how strong it'll be, because on the microphone and the camera there are two mics, and those mics, whatever direction they're pointing is where it's grabbing from. It's like a shotgun kind of. But I just want to say this. I took a bit of a pause along with Mark, and I was building parabolics, is what we were doing. And because we need them, I don't know what that was.
What was that?
I don't know. It wasn't far.
Was that vocal? Was that an insect?
I don't know. It was like it was right over there.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's wrap this up and let's head out of here before it gets dark.
This area and something over in that area, which is typical flanking. And the reason I filmed that is because I stopped to come back here to relieve myself, and I turned around and just walked back where we had come from. And I saw something moving in the brush behind us.
And then I heard it, bam, right back that way.
That's where
it was like just one single knock.
Yeah, it was
in the direction that you were talking about, and that we just all went through. We didn't see a damn thing. We didn't see a damn thing back there.
I saw movement on, you know, about 6 foot off the ground back there. Right where we came from. We didn't hear a thing. We walked through that area. We come back over here, turn the cameras off, and then we hear something. Right, Chris heard it too. Right back where we were. Right back where I saw the movement.
Yeah. The strategy is to basically remain predictable. Take predictable routes. When you ingress and egress. So what we got now is we got a trap, okay? We have a trap with the cameras facing this way, and other camera slightly out of a little bit of a different angle, slightly off. And the whole object is that over the course of the next few months, we'll just keep touching bases in our area and let the cameras focus on what's going on behind us. Something flanking us in the back here as well. Sometimes it's very obvious. Yeah, it's very soft. It's soft right now. It's quiet.
It was dark and slender.
Dark and slender, all upright. Wasn't peak.
I don't care what any naysayer on the YouTube. I just heard something behind me. It sounded like it was a human voice, and it went blah. always hear something behind us when we go in that area. The viewers are going to like this.
So, what did the trail cam capture that was up in the tree? You're not getting close enough. And when you start getting closer, these things will start happening to you.
Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha.
What I wanted to do this time is I wanted to be able to make the video a little bit differently to give the viewers a little more insight, more personal insight of what our experiences were when we were out there on our last outing.
And it was just me and you.
It was just you.
It was like
just us.
Old school again, just Chris and I.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
The girls were not available, so we went out.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had briefly talked at work, and we were saying, hey. I said, you know what? I'm beginning to wonder if the activity is getting killed off from the trail cams,
And I agree.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, let's just go out there
and pull them down.
And pull them down. Exactly.
Which is was that was the only reason we really went out, was to pull them down and see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, and see if it makes a difference, because we've been doing some long-term testing with it.
Yeah.
We went in. It's kind of you get lost when you get to this one little tree, but we got there, threw the ropes up in the tree, shimmied up there, pulled the first camera down that was way up high in the tree.
Who went up there? You?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I pulled the camera down, and we were talking back and forth as I was up and you were talking briefly. And
I had a camera and I was doing some filming.
Yeah, because I asked you, I said, hey, when I'm up, make sure you film around, pay attention.
And while you were up there, I heard the chattering teeth, the predator type sound behind me.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, yeah.
And that's always ominous. It's always like, it's not a friendly sound.
They're everywhere. I said, hey, give me the camera.
So
I had to lower myself down from the tree because I was too high.
Now I'm tall.
Yeah.
And I had the camera like this, and it was extended all the way, and I still couldn't get it to you.
So it's right. We were still like 5 feet too short.
So we had to come down
but that shows you how tall, how high up I was. Yeah. So I said, well, wait a minute. I gotta unhook and I gotta drop down some. So I dropped down, got down a little bit lower to where I could lean over backwards to get the camera. Okay, so as I got the camera, I positioned myself back upright again, and you were down. I remember looking down at you.
Right.
So I said, oh, what a great, wonderful, what a view. I got to get a shot of this. So as I started to pan the camera around,
Hold it up a little bit.
pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Heard that.
I did too. Is that behind us?
Yeah. Let me spin around. I'm on this rope and I'm getting ready to spin around. And as I'm turning, the camera is still pointing in this general direction. And as I turn my head around, my head's like this angle. And then right out of the side of my eye, in my peripheral vision, I had caught this white light thing is what I had caught out of the corner of my eye. The camera was still in this general direction. As this caught my attention, I went ahead and I just twisted and looked. I just seen something dart through the trees. I thought it was my reflection, but it ain't.
What now?
I just seen. Yeah,
Up in the trees?
like a mirror. A reflection from a mirror, but not as defined. Not as defined.
Did you hear that? Maybe it was a bird.
It was like a reflection. Moving.
In the trees?
Yeah, as tall as that one palm back there. This one right there. In a bad angle. This one right over there. Behind that
Yeah.
dead branch is where it was. I gotta spin around. I feel the circulation getting cut. I'm not harnessed good today. Your first thought is, okay, it's just reflection from the sunlight coming in, hitting the camera, hitting the viewfinder. And that's what I did. I turned the camera around and basically tried to recreate
Right.
what could have been possibly me. And then I looked at the camera, and I remember on the video, I'm looking at the camera, and I'm saying, no, the camera's in the shade. There's no light on the camera.
And it was in the shade.
Yeah, there's no light on the camera. So,
So we couldn't recreate it.
not at all. Not at all. And it was
I'm just sitting down, I'm standing down there just smiling like, oh, that sounds like
Yeah.
stuff I've seen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I heard the predator sound down
Well, what I saw made me think my camera was reflecting light behind me. And my camera, I repeated it, and the camera doesn't have any light on it. It's all shaded where I am.
When I was stuffing that camera in my rucksack, I could have sworn I heard it.
No, it could be something like,
Could have been a bird, but
well, it could be something breaking the sunlight coming through, which,
yeah.
as I spun around, made me think that it was a movement, and it could have been just twinkling from like a bird breaking the sunlight, but the camera's much higher than where I am. I actually had to come down to get the camera, and let me get a wide angle shot. Like I said, the camera was much higher than this right here, and there's the surrounding, and that's what it looks like when you're up here. Okay. I don't know, it was a thud back that way or something.
You heard a thud?
Yeah, a pop or something back that way. This should be about the angle of the camera. So let's get it filmed. The camera was probably right about here, pointing downward just slightly. That's probably how it was facing.
Mosquitoes are ferocious.
No mosquitoes up here. None. Okay. I could not get it to replicate.
I know that feeling.
So picture like a big signal mirror, maybe 10 yards away or so, about this big around fuzzy, blurry, fuzzy, and just moving like that. And
Oh,
it just,
yeah.
and then it just, whoop, it's gone.
It's gone. And I couldn't have seen it because I was down in the thick of things.
So what has it got anything to do with Bigfoot? Only thing I can tell you is that we just tried to report what we are experiencing and observing,
Right.
and we report it to you and try to explain it to you. And if we're lucky enough to get it on camera, we do. So it's got everything to do with it because everyone should go look at the video Awesome Activity is what it was called. It was made back in 2016, I believe. If I remember right. Awesome Activity. Go watch that video because in that video we're hanging up a recorder and when all the stuff starts breaking loose around us. And after we hang up the recorder, Mark is walking on his flank. He catches one of those guys. And we've had things, Mark and I call them shadow walkers. We gave them that name, and I was never a fan of the Walking Dead. I never knew what Walking Dead was. We've been calling them shadow walkers for the longest time. We just ain't really been telling you on film what we've been calling them. And it's got everything to do with the Bigfoot because it's still part of the phenomena, okay? Because ever since that one video, we linked it all together, that we started getting the bizarre, unexplainable things that was happening along with traditional.
That's right.
All the way across
The
North
knocks,
all the way across North
vocals,
America.
and then also the cloaking and the shadows and the dark figures that run
Yep.
between, and you run over there and you can't
Mhm.
see nothing. And the thing that you saw up in the tree today, the fact that it was moving,
Yeah, it was moving quickly.
I understand that.
And if it would have been a reflection, I would have been able to repeat it.
Hell yeah, you would have been able to. The sun didn't get that. Was my thing when I saw the original cloak. I remember I walked back thinking I should be able to repeat this. Can't repeat it. Can't repeat it.